Orwenna, champion. Thank goodness. Eversong is in danger. Greetings.
While you were searching for answers in the Rift of Alm, I went back to Silver Moon to consult the Magisters. We barely had time to discuss our findings before we received word from the runestones north of Farstrider Retreat. Something has whipped the Lightbloom into a frenzy. If we don't act now, all of Eversong could be lost. I only hope Orwenna's elders recognize the looming threat.
With
Shaladrisil's roots still stand.
How?
The Almdust. But we need more. The surface needs...
No! We will not leave our home defenseless.
We can gather more.
We cannot risk our people for outsiders.
Some branches can burn. Our calling is to protect the roots.
The last time I left, it was about my calling. This time it is about my friends. And I will protect them, with or without your aid.
Azeroth needs our help. I will not stand idly while she is overwhelmed. I know you will not either. But Halduron's news is dire. If the Lightbloom is frenzying on the surface, then the danger has grown far more quickly than we were prepared to reckon with. We must make for Eversong at once. I will stand against any threat to Anhara's creation, be it here or in the world above, and I will do it alone, if I must.
Without the Almdust, we face a grim task. Steel yourself.
I have brought what...
To think that while we toiled below, the light... To think that while we toiled below, the Lightbloom would spread so aggressively in Eversong. Damn it all! Every victory we win reveals rising danger. Simply culling these creatures is not sufficient. If their bodies are left unattended, the light will seep from their remains and spread through the soil to the surrounding foliage. We must take more drastic measures. Gather the bones of the creatures you slay. If we burn them, perhaps we can prevent their further spread through the roots of this forest.
When the Farstriders first discovered the Lightbloom, we thought it to be merely an aesthetic change due a small quirk of the Sunwell's influence. With that we knew then, what we know now. These light-frenzied rootways must lead all the way back to Harandar. If we don't close them, it won't matter how many of these damned things I bring down. Close the rootways, and we might have a fighting chance.
Whatever I must. getting us nowhere. Send word to Rama. Have the Magisters make haste to the Sun Crown tree.
Speak to me.
Do not delay. The longer we wait to cull this growth, the more of this forest the Sindore will lose.
It is a shame to see something born of Harandar to wreak such havoc on a place like this. These roots may not cradle Anhara, but they grow towards her all the same.
Let nature take its course.
Damn it all. For every rootway you torch, 2 more crop up elsewhere. It's like they're self-perpetuating, spreading in the span of moments. I don't think we can solve this with arrows and magic, even with Orwaina's help. We don't have enough Alndust, nor enough Haranir to prevent the spread of this frenzy.
Fight with courage.
I have a way to stop the light bloom from spreading further through the forest, but it isn't exactly a delicate touch. Normally, I'd never dream of resorting to a controlled burn in such a healthy portion of Eversong. But the frenzy is spreading too quickly, and we are running out of options. I've sounded the retreat to my Farstriders, but some of them haven't responded. I need you to find any rangers in particularly sticky situations, and lend your aid in securing their escape. With our ground forces pulled back, our position will be overwhelmed in a matter of minutes. It's time to execute our gambit. Ramat and the Magisters have provided us a mana gem that can be used to overload Lashra's runestones. Take it, and infuse the stones with the mana contained therein. That will set the stage for the Magisters' ritual. To detonate the runestones and burn the entirety of Lashra to the ground. We just have to hope the light bloom cannot survive in an inferno.
If you detonate your runestones, your forests will burn.
We have rebuilt from ashes before. Without any alm dust, what other recourse do we have? light bloom has reached the river. Light of the sun, preserve us. We are out of time. I will do my duty for Azeroth.
Most of the Farstriders have retreated to our position. Those that remain are prepared.
Most of the Farstriders have retreated to our position. Those that remain are prepared to slip away once the ritual begins. We're out of time. It is now or never.
We've done all we can. Now all that's left is to defend the Magisters, and hope that this is enough to stop the frenzy from spreading any further.
Our retreat to safer ground has not gone unnoticed. The Rutani mark us at every turn, and now they mean to cross the river. We have to buy Romath and the Magisters as much time as we can. If we fail here, the whole of Eversong could be lost. Stand tall, do not falter, and do your best not to die.
I serve Silvermoon. Be about your work.
Yield, surface dwellers! Your light returns to wash over you!
Rootwood and Ruya! What is this madness?
Naive Orwena, this frenzy shall lap at the heels of our secret home no longer. I have turned this room back on its creators.
It's no simple cantrip. Keep firing and try not to die.
It's now or never, Romath! Romath! More? Fall back!
Elder Hagar!
Help has arrived, little sprout.
I cannot believe it. My kin on the surface, standing shoulder to shoulder with surface dwellers, and wielding the magics of Alm. But we do not have time for sentiment. We must bring Ruya to justice, and end this frenzy. Ruya has always been a zealous advocate, but this behavior is beyond the pale. The light bloom must be affecting him, driving him to these dangerous lengths. But we do not have to be like him. This forest need not fall to the bloom like Shaladressel's roots did. The Harati brought enough alm dust to bolster our allies against corruption, and prevent the frenzy from spreading further. Together, you and I shall spread Aonhara's gift across the forest. This frenzy shall advance no further.
I am an expert in the fauna of Eversong, and I can say with certainty that the vast majority of the wildlife here tend to be of fairly average size. But these light, frenzied saptors are decidedly, unequivocally not. One bite from those thorny jaws could claim the lives of half a dozen Farstriders. If they are caught unawares. My rangers have their quivers, full culling the chaff alongside the Heronir. See to it that those towering Tyrannosaurs don't catch them unawares.
Stop the ritual! To arms! Eversog need not burn today!
Alnhara's blessing empowers us. Today, we fight for all of her creation.
Between you and our new Heronir allies, my rangers have plenty of ferocious examples to follow. I'll have to consider teaching some of your techniques at the retreat.
We must not falter.
The Heronir are always mighty, but with the goddess's gift shining upon us, we are unstoppable. The day is nearly won. The Sindore cull every new sprout that blooms, and the Harati ward the surrounding wilds against the frenzy's influence. All that yet remains is to remove this light-bound serpent's misguided head. Root Warden Ruya has opposed our every action and shouted down our every word. But he is still a Root Warden, and one with the power of a frenzying light bloom host at his beck and call. He is strong, but he does not walk with Anhara. It is time to end this.
I cannot say we have ever fought a Heronir Root Warden before. Anything we should know?
Show no fear. Ruya is powerful, but he stands alone. This ends here. Ruya! The will of Al-Nahara stands against you.
Presumptuous fellow.
I can feel him fleeing through the roots. We have to.
Yes, Owena. Ruya will face judgment. Come, we should fall back to the sun-crowned field.
With Ruya in retreat and Almdust in hand, we can drive the frenzy back.
It is over. Though the light bloom may never fully recede, its mastermind has been driven back into the rootway. With the frenzy quelled, and the surrounding forests warded against its advance, we can rest assured that Eversong will not suffer the light bloom spread any farther. We've done it. We've won. It is done. The frenzy is routed. The root warden has fled, and the Sindore have reclaimed control of their forests. I can scarcely believe it, but we succeeded, champion. By Anhara's grace, we found a path forward. Now Halduran's people invite us to their den. I am not fond of your surface cities, but you have aided me so many times, my friend. It is time that the Harati reached out hands of our own.
Your people saved our home, Orwena, and at great cost to yourselves. Your sacrifice shall not go unrecognized. I must insist you join me in Silvermoon.
My goods are one of a kind.
A sight to behold, is it not? Since the time of Dath Thermar, the elves have used this great forge to craft armor of unparalleled might. It is said that the flames were first stoked by the soul of a phoenix who thought it a fitting nest, and that its power still weaves itself through every creation. We will permit you to share in its gifts.
Are you planning a purchase?
This is a spark of radiance. Every week, one of these sparks will appear while on your adventures. In its current state, it is rather useless, but acquiring more will allow you to craft powerful items. Reagents like these are malleable, robust, and the prize for many crafters. This is a unique crafting material that can help an item achieve expertise beyond that of mortal ability.
Treat my wares with care.
Owena, your efforts saved Eversong this day. The Haranir will always have a place in Silvermoon, should they wish it.
For the first time in generations, the Haranir walk upon the surface of Anhara's creation. Time will tell how her creation receives us in turn. The fighting is far from over. The Void claws at your gates and threatens your people. But know this, my friend. From this day forward, any threat that encroaches upon Anhara's bounty will have the Harati to contend with, be it here or deep below the earth.
We have traced Ruia's flight through the Wildlands. As we suspected, he has sought refuge deep within the blinding veil, where the Lightbloom first took root within Harandar. With Aundust empowering our command of life, we are able to keep the Lightbloom from spreading uncontrolled. But we will run out of Aundust long before Ruia runs out of patience. Ruia is wise and powerful, but his actions in Eversong prove that his conviction has grown into an uncontrollable fanaticism. He must be stopped.
By the roots.
It will take some time for the Elders to sort through the consequences of our actions here on the surface. Rest assured, though, you lent your aid to Harandar when we were blind to the dangers it faced. That is not a kindness easily forgotten. When the time comes, the Haranir will bring their strength to bear against these enemies of yours. I am certain of it.
I am not eternal. Neat.
Though we've triumphed over Ruia and the Lightbloom for now, more remains to be done. The Elders will want to convene
The Haranir seek to join the fight against the Void?
Though we've triumphed over Ruia and the Lightbloom for now, more remains to be done. The Elders will want to convene regarding the Harati's new place in the world. Now that we have stepped out from the shadows of our past, our reticence and fear will not vanish overnight. But this is an important first step. We will be fine, champion. Let Orwena and I deal with the elders. When the time comes, the Harati shall be at your side. For now, though, I'd imagine you have more pressing matters to attend to.
That was an entropic wave. We felt them just before Xaladath launched her assault on the Sunwell. Champion, you move faster than my best messengers. I need you to check in with the Vanguard commanders and see if their defenses will hold against this latest assault by Xaladath's devouring host. When Haldurun burst into a war council shouting about hidden worlds and ancient warriors, I thought he had gone mad. But now that I've seen the Haranir with my own eyes, we are lucky to have them as potential allies. And lucky to have you, I'd say, in brokering that relationship. There is more for us to do, but I've no doubt that the Harati will prove vital allies to Silver Moon in the days to come. That was an entropic wave. We felt them just before.
Champion, I was the root warden of Tildressel. For years, I watched the roots here below the surface, but I was not aware of what was threatening the tree outside of Harandar. For just as long, I have regretted that failure, but we cannot change the past. I wonder, however, if roots so great may still have life within them. Might there be something which can still be done? I do not know, but I do hope. Will you join me at the Shrine of Ages to tend the roots?
You must prepare. You are ready. You need wares. Return if you need.
You're a strange one. How am I tested?
I lived far longer before I became Root Warden than after. Yet Teldrassil will always be what defines my life.
For the god.
At this shrine, I have worked to gather roots that seem to still have the possibility of life within them. They are each greatly damaged. Some more than others. My hope is some might recover, with enough time and enough care. In that way, I honor the great tree's memory. For that to be possible, though, we have to keep them safe from the hazards of Harandar. Please be sure that nothing nearby threatens them.
Dust is limited, so we must call the areas where the light bloom is most active. A large attack only causes the light bloom to spread. A few striking the most dangerous, that is the They can take us below, but swiftly. I would not expose them to the light bloom long.
I can restore the Haranir to what it was be, but you stand in my way.
I will block them in place. We will not escape again. His faith in the goddess has become hatred. Is this what Lightbloom does? A precision attack. I should have called for everyone. Follow me. Dangerous. We must destroy it before they finish infusing it.
Beware.
Persistent. We too must be.
Yes.
Thank you for helping to protect what may still live of Teldrassil. It may be that nothing remains. Some of these roots still smolder. Yet I vowed to serve as Root Warden. And I will not fail a second time if there is any hope. I choose each day to believe there may be. That Teldrassil could bloom again, though I may only be preserving her memory.
Serve this world.
If we ever hope to see new growth, Teldrassil's roots needs a great deal of special attention. The source of this stream is one of the great roots. The water carries ash, which I believe still contains the tree's essence. The stalkers in the stream carry a mixture of that ash and slime from their tendrils, a very potent mixture. Bring me as much of it as you can carry, and I will combine it with reagents I have gathered. Then we'll be ready to apply it to the roots.
How am I tasting? On your way by the roots.
Do you have the rejuvenating mud I asked for?
You're a strange one.
This will do nicely for today. Just give me a moment to mix. Hero, do you smell smoke?
Good.
Champion, I see smoke rising above Harmara. The roots are on fire, not here, but beneath the remnants of the tree. I have seen this happen many times, but we must always respond with haste. Take to the skies and douse them immediately!
I am not eternal.
The smell of smoke fills me with the same dread I felt on that terrible day. There is much heat still trapped within the largest roots, and in the right circumstances, the burning begins anew. If we have any hope of seeing the roots restored one day, we have to be vigilant against even small fires. At best, they undo our work, but at worst, they could spread to consume what remains. Thank you for helping me keep watch.
We have much to do.
Thank you for tending to those fires, champion. While you were gone, I've used that sludge to make a salve. Help me spread it over Teldrassil's roots. It may take years to see a difference, if we ever do. But though I failed, I made oaths to her, and I can still choose to keep them. I will never stop doing what I can to help her perhaps grow again. If I do not succeed, the next Root Warden, or the one who comes after that, may be the one to finish this work. Even so, I shall not stop trying.
Walk without fear. Speak swiftly. What do the roots bring me?
Thank you for your help. Because of you, I was able to keep up my routines even with those fires. Perhaps one day, we might see a sprout, even if it takes many years, and I shall be ever ready to resume my duties as root warden. Should hope bloom.
We have much to do.
So it is done, then. Ruia's demise is a tragedy. You never knew him as such, but he was once a man of honor and conviction. To think that the light would blind him so completely to the folly of his ambitions. In the end, he thought he was doing what was best for Harandar. I can only hope his soul finds both peace and forgiveness as it seeks on Hara in death.
May you lend your song to her.